Well, welcome back to map guides. Um, Next one for today is Miro. Miro is got an open map. It's quite EBR dependent, especially for end games. You really need to keep your EBRs alive till the end game because they're very important. Yeah, it's quite a slow map nowadays because most people are taking 60 TPs and like 10 of them. So most people are not taking any fast lineups because you are just gonna push into a brick wall basically. You'll lose if you take anything quick like 9-0s or 260s or 277s. You should just lose IMO if the enemy team reacts correctly. Um, but it's still a good map. IMO. I think it's better from south. North is a lot harder IMO, but it's an alright map. Right, let's just get into some key positions. Right, first key position is pretty simple. It's just this little hill, I guess. C3, C4. From this position, you can spot this, you can shoot this. If the EV goes wide, you can help mid. You can give a shot to this guy if he comes. You can help if this guy gets YOLO for some reason. If you're sending a guy here, he can then just cross over. It's a very versatile position. If they full push 1-2, he should be able to run away into the houses, or he can go to A3. He does a lot. It's normally you normally put a Sturv or something with lots of DPM there. Before the S-Conk got nerfed, you'd probably put an S-Conk here. Um, and it's still okay to put an S-Conk. I just probably would put a Sturv or an E5 instead. But most tanks work here. I wouldn't put a 60 TP here if you're playing 1-2. If you're playing 9-0, then yeah, you can put a 60 TP here. That's no problem. But yeah, its main idea is to spot this for you from like here. There's like one of these bushes here that you can spot it from. Um, and like give shots to if they push 1-2, and shots to mid. But yeah, decent position. Next key position is C0. It's like this little bumper here. You use this basically to spot everything coming this way. Most people use it in if they're playing heavy 1-2, um, or they're playing like the camp, where they put a guy here and then he sees you coming and then he runs away. Um, Very good position. Very annoying if played correctly, um, or if the enemy team fucks up because you always fault this. Most teams from south are sending one guy in to challenge him or fight him to make him fall back from the ridgeline, and then they push their whole team close, and then they peek him together and kill him. But if this guy plays badly, this guy can peek up and keep on watching this the entire time and still have enough time to get back around this ridgeline and be safe. Yeah, very simple position. The next, I guess, key position would be A0. It's used mostly in the camps um, because if you want to kill it, you have to go commit in, basically. You can counter it, kind of. After if you have killed this guy in C0, you can then put your EBR like through these bushes on the edge of the water, and it spots the people here. So they only have, I think it's like this little rock to hide behind, which basically only one tank can really do. Um, Maybe two, I guess, if you're like perfectly blocked from this angle. But yeah, it's a very annoying position to try and clear. We send your EBR to spot to do some early damage, and then if you're deciding to push 9-0, you normally push with your whole team like this, and you send like the last two guys to go kill him, kill the people in the thing. Most people are trying to just push them in the water to kill them, because it's quicker than trying to kill 60Ps or whatever is in the hole. But yeah, an annoying position. Next position is C5, or like these two buildings really. Most people are taking mouse nowadays and just putting him here. You'll see in the video later the mouse being here. I'll show you what it does, but it's just spotting this outside play. You have quite a few bushes here, and even in a mouse, if you sit perfectly still, you can be unspotted and just shoot and give one shot and then reverse behind the house. If you're pushing 1-2, he can come straight through mid and eventually either come to like this or this, the church, and then he can shoot all of this if you're having a fight in E3. If there's a guy here, he can come on the outside and also shoot him. If you put some pressure onto 1-2, it's a very good position. If for some reason you are camping and you're camping like this line or everything above this line, do not put a mouse in mid because he will just get killed from angles. Especially if you're playing 1-2, like this guy needs to be careful. If you haven't pushed out 1-2 fully, he will die over time because they will put people here, and you are not safe on some of these buildings anymore. If you're doing the shit camp, he will die as well for no reason. So I wouldn't put him there. Yeah, because I mean they'll start sending guys here to spot him, and if they have a mouse in mid, he can just go out wide and shoot him. There's people here, so yeah. But overall, good position. Next key position is this little hold down here. It's mostly used to just kind of spot anything that's coming here. You can also shoot on this outside a little bit. You can also join forest if you're playing forest and they push it. Quite versatile, very annoying to kill. Very annoying. You can't really kill it from a lot of angles. You need to kind of crossfire it from like getting here and having tanks here. And also, like eventually, at some point, you might be able to bring like your mouse up through mid to peek on him if he stays. But yeah, a good position for sure. It's nice to have. You can also join mid if you, for some reason, are pushing mid. I'll show you in a strat later where you have some tanks ready to go push like this at the same time. It's always nice to have a bit of health to do it with. Right, next key position is E1. You normally put a 279 here. It can be a 60GP, it can be an i7, but 279 is technically the best for it. Basically, there's like a little ledge on like this side of the house, and you can go up on it with your 279 and basically be impenetrable to all of these people. Or if they push 1-2 at a later stage, you're basically very hard to kill for them. Getting here, you probably take a shot from these people, so you need to be careful. If there's like 3 people here, maybe don't cross. But if you can get it and you can hold it, it's very annoying for the enemy because I mean, if they push into this, you just farm it the entire time, and you will slowly bleed to HE and stuff. But hopefully, you're punishing them back. And if you also have the mouse here, then they're in complete crossfire in this dip. I mean, you can spot this. There is a hold down from here, so you can spot the tanks here that shoot you basically, or are not in the bushes. So I mean that's helpful to gain info for the FC. But yeah, that's really it for that position. So next key position is for EBRs. EBR players among you and the FC, I guess. Just this bush line here. You put an EBR here, or if for some reason you have a CS with low noise, or like one of your medium tanks, you bring medium tanks, you can put him here. He basically spots this entire rotation for you, so everything in 9-0 is trapped, and they can't leave unspotted. So you can make a strat off that. Like you can be like, okay, I have trapped 5 tanks here. I will just rotate out and push 1-2 because I know 5 tanks are still here the whole time. And you need this guy and like one guy here, so you spot this. But if you can get this, you've trapped your 5 people. You can maybe even rotate the 1-2 and just go push out fully. And if they try and rotate back, they should get punished from going back. So a very nice position. You need to be careful, basically, of EBRs doing this run against you, because you will be proxied and killed. But hopefully you have either people here. If you have a guy here, he can also spot it really early. Or you can, I mean, if you have double EBR and they're not doing anything else, you can bring your other EBR into the bush line on the edge, and he spots this for you. So this EBR can always run in time. But yeah, a very helpful position if you can get it. Right, on to positions from south. We will start with just the opposite from what I started from north, so H3. Again, this is just used to punish if the EBR does a bad run. And, you know, if someone crosses to E1, he spots this push in E1 as well. He can't really spot this early. You normally have a tank here to spot this instead from south. But yeah, I mean, just a normal position to shoot this. I mean, you can also help mid a bit if like they decide to peek on the guy on church. You might even have a shot on this guy through this gap. But yeah, pretty simple position. The next key position is D7. It's also used in EBR, or it's probably basically the most important position you can get in the EBR on Muro from south. Basically, because you spot this rotation, you spot the people on this ridge line, you spot them if they leave like this. It's just very powerful because you obviously just you basically make them split in half, and if they want to reinforce, they get punished for it. You need to be careful again of being cleared. That's why you might have a guy here just to stop this from happening, or you have your other EBR watching this. But yeah, a very good position if you can get it. You need to be careful of an EBR playing like this, because he probably sees you going into this bush. So you might need to clear the EBR if he's here. He should know because you get spotted on this ridge line, and nothing else can really spot you here. But yeah, you need to be careful doing it, but if you can get it, it's probably one of the best positions you can get in an EBR. Next one is F1. It is basically the same as E1. You put a 279 here, and he can basically watch all of this, and he's ready for these kind of pushes because he's very annoying to kill because he's angled up. He also spots this for you again, and he might be able to spot. You can't really spot this 3-line pressure, but you can maybe push up a little bit to be safe from this, and then he can spot 1 line even earlier than G1. But most people don't do this. I mean, he can also go here and also shoot this, I think. If for some reason you have like this position as well, it makes it uncomfortable to play here. But yeah, it's mostly used just to cover this and waste their time if they try and push this side. Most people don't really use this a lot, really, nowadays for 279, but it can still be used. And if you think they're pushing 1-2 and you can take it and then you're ready with your team, it's very good. But most people are putting a guy here for control, with maybe one in the dip, one here, and then the rest of the team is rotating forest and probably pushing it. But yeah, good position. Next position is G1. He basically spots the 1-line push, and then he runs away back to this dip here. And he's very hard to kill here. You have to keep on pushing, and then if you have people here, it just makes a crossfire. I mean, he can even run to this house if for some reason he thinks that's safer. Personally, I would probably always go J1. I just think it's better for you because the enemies have to turn all their turrets this way to kill him, and he's here. I mean, you go to this house if you can't run all the way. If you've somehow been caught out by, I don't know, they've done this and this isn't spotted. Or they're really fast tanks, I guess, and you spot them a bit late. But yeah, it's a very nice ridge line to have. Yeah, simple. Okay, next key position is just the mid buildings, I guess. Like this and these three is used the most. Basically, we're still using a mouse. And he starts off here. You can go straight to here if you're playing heavy forest. And you can go here straight technically, but it's up to you if you think they're like pushing 1 too early and they have some mid presence. But I normally just start them off here and then we'll eventually push them up to here. But yeah, he's just a very annoying tank to hold crossfire angles. They can't push on this outside until this guy is dead. And like this guy or these two positions kind of just counter this under, and he can just delay a lot of time for you, especially if you're doing like some dev hold, I guess, if you're somehow south and defending. But yeah, this position you can be killed from forest if you let them take this ridge line. They will shoot you through it. I mean, it's still a hard shot for them, and he has to be kind of proxied to be spotted. But if you also don't have 1-2 control, he can just go back onto this side. So if you want to kill him, you kind of need to take this and this. So if the enemy team is letting you do that, you should be winning the game. And then you might send like double tank across to here to kill him. Can't really kill him from going on the outside because you just get shot from here. So you can't really go play here to kill him. But so normally you're just sending 2 tanks to go kill him. Or if he's playing badly, you can kill him from here. Or here, I guess, if he's on this side. But yeah, a good position. Also forgot to mention, he also, if they're camping, and you've sent some guys here, if they want to overpeak on them, this guy just farms them, and if they dump in, this guy also just farms. A very helpful position. the next position is here, as I talked about earlier. It's kind of the same thing from south. So north has again, it's just kind of used to. I mean, you can proxy the EBR if he's not careful. You can spot this if they again rotate quick way, so they are forced to rotate long way every time. And also can give some mid help if I don't know your mouse is being pushed or something. Yeah, good position. Can't really be killed by anything because you're kind of safe from here and here. So unless your turrets turn this way and these people are really peeking high in the ridgeline, you're completely safe in this position. So very good position. Another key position from south is actually this dip. It's quite hard to show on the map because it's not really doesn't show elevation that well. But in this dip, your job is to basically spot this. You're like just in range, just like that, and you can also push these guys back a little bit because you'll be an I7 here, so you should be able to push these back and also spot this rotation. So it's a helpful position to have if for some reason you can't get this or this, and you can get this, you can use that. You can use it even for a camp as well. If you're breaking a camp, send a guy right here, he permanently spots this guy. You can maybe put your stirve here, or maybe the mouse comes to here from mid, and you start trying to shoot these people if they back off at all. But a helpful position. Another position from south is the J1 ridge. I think I talk about this either before or after this, but the G1 guy normally leaves for this, and it's just a very annoying position to kill if they're pushing 1-2. Normally you put like an I7 here, or the I7's normally here, and then he runs back to here, and then you'll have, I don't know, 2 or 3 guys here, possibly. And yeah, it just makes them, when they're pushing this, turn their turrets towards this guy and just get clapped in return from the people in this. So it's like an easy, like free 2k damage on them because they've got all their turrets turned. And it's just annoying to kill. They probably need to like push him out with one tank so these guys can then turn and shoot him. So yeah, just a very nice position if you can get it with when they're pushing 1-2. Okay, just one more key position is D4. You basically use this just to spot this cross. If for some reason you can't get an EBR here, you are more than likely only using this position if you have forest control. But if you have forest control, you probably are already winning if you can get a guy here, because you have to cover this guy with at least one here, maybe one back here to spot this repush. So he needs to be covered, and also by like something here as well, probably, for him to stay here and not get like overpeaked. But yeah, you just use it to spot this cross if for some reason you can't get into here, and you can also shoot A7 if they peek badly when you're pushing this. But yeah, that is all. Okay, I'll just quickly go over EBR runs because they're quite important. Start from north. First one is 1-2. Normally you are going either like this wide and then coming back to spot this and this, It's quite a risky run though, because you can be pre-aimed from here. So most people now, I think, are just doing this, going in, doing a run here, and then running away. Because for sure you always see this, and you should see this at the same time, and it should always be in time to run away. Next one would be to the forest. You would normally going like this straight and doing a run here and then running away, and then probably just doing runs on this ridge line to spot 9-0. That's really it. EBR 1-2 is kind of not pointless, but after getting early info, there's not really much he can do. Especially if you have a heavy tank here or you've already taken inside, you can't really do much. Because it's kind of up to this guy to kind of keep on peeking now and again to spot the EBR. Like if he has nothing to do, I mean, he can just sit like here. If he can somehow get into these bushes, he can also go there. But more than likely, you can't go here, so you're kind of stuck like sitting in like a bush like out here if you have it, to basically spot this repush. And yeah, as I think I said earlier, in key positions, like your EBRs should be doing runs here until, I don't know, a tank is replacing him, and then he can try and go into here. Yeah, so that's it from North EBRs. And for South EBRs, it's basically the same thing. So from south, the EBR is going into this dip and peaking wide or on the top to spot this. Or you can do this run as well, but again, I think this run is just better and more safe. Unless you see, you do need to kind of be kind of risky here because you need to make sure that they're like, I don't know, if they bring 260s, you'd be careful that you don't peak too high and then you don't see them coming and then they get spotted here and you die. I've seen a few people like try this run with EBR and then running away, just to kind of spot if they're delaying 1-2, and you should always see this because you're like late to do this, so you'll be like here when the enemy team is like here. And you also should be able to spot this at the people at the back and maybe late crosses on A2. For like the right side spot, it's normally just doing this and surfing this ridge line because you see people crossing early here. He then just does a run here and then he runs away. You can wait to be despotted, so you're not like rail from A7, but like it's a hard shot, and if you do it well, you can just go straight to here, and then you just spot the 0 line push basically with the EBR runs. Again, the idea is eventually you will try and get into this to then spot this, but most of the time you'll just be waiting for your opportunity to do it. If, I don't know, for some reason you've been pushed away in forest, you normally sit in like this bush or these, or just find a random bush on the top side, basically to try and stop the EBR from getting into here. I mean, you can also just sit like here as well, just to stop the EBR from getting into these bushes. That's really it. Again, from south, the 1-2 EBR it's hard to play, because like this bush will be blind fired. You can sit like, I think there's a bush in between these two houses which you can spot 1-2, but it's risky to go into. You could maybe try and get into this bush. That bush is fine. Or if they've taken dip and you already have a tank here, you might just play on like the outside here just to spot, I don't know, them coming like this, I guess, because you should already should have spots on 1-2 in here with like the i7 or whatever you have here. But you might also just be dragged over to 9-0 to be a sacrifice EBR to clear these, so your other EBR can go into these. But that's kind of it for EBRs on Muro. other than that, it's kind of up to you on how you rotate and what you do. Okay, let us just start on the strats. We'll start from north. We'll just do a simple 1-2. So I personally don't think they really work anymore. So it's probably more like you'd be doing a delayed 1-2. So like we would start off with 6 ATPs. I just start off with the Sturv and WBR because we're basically always bringing that. So we will just bring IS7s because we want to push it out kind of fast. Personally, I would bring like 5, and then something like 6 ATPs would just stay here. Like, technically, ideally, what you would like to do is like get this dip, so then you push away their EBR, and then you can just go push 1-2. So maybe you just do something like this. Okay, I hate Strats catch for some reason it does this a lot. Right, okay. So yeah, the idea would be if there is nothing coming 1-2 immediately, your I7 can just take it. If not, he just runs to like here. And then you just, I mean, if they come in 1-2, I mean, let's just get a mouse in mid as well. So yeah, you bring your mouse here, so then he can come up to here if they're pushed into 1-2 early, and then you just bring your whole team and try and crush it. If they haven't and they're playing like some kind of control split, then you just take your I7 like here, your EBR then tries to like stop their EBR getting this, so you can then push up on the 3 line and get to like here while being unspotted. Then you get spotted here with your IS7s. You're just pushing 1-2 straight. You get spotted here by this guy or this guy. I mean, you might even be spotted like here. So you might even try and like use this building and this building for cover, and then swing. If this EBR then should be doing runs here. After your I7s get to like here, if as soon as there's like nothing here, the EBR should try and do runs here to basically spot the crosses back. And then all these I7s are pushing here. You have your 60 DPs coming to here to punish the cross that the EBR is hopefully spotting. This I7 can either join if you think you will need him, and if you think for some reason you need more. I don't know, they have like 4 or like 5 here, like 4 here, 1 here, then you might split off double 60p to also come join. So you just go kill this. Then your mouse can just come up to mids. The Sturv probably just stays here. It's kind of a boring job, but you just need a tank here to cover if they just drive like this or drive over the mouse. This can be more heavy. It can be an E5 if you want it to be, or an S-Conk. Obviously, these can be 260s or 277s, but I7s are better really for these kind of pushes because you need the health, basically. These 60 DPs, if you don't have 60 DPs, you should be getting them because they are better. But if you don't have them, like maybe some chiefs are okay. If you don't have a chief, then E5. If you don't have E5, then something that has decent damage. Like honestly, if you don't have 560Ps in your clan or in the advance, kind of fucked to be honest. But yeah, chiefs. I mean, you could bring E5s as well. I wouldn't bring S-Conks because they were just a bit too slow. But yeah, that's a very simple strat. You're just delayed pushing 1-2. Gifted did it for years. When I joined, we were pushing 1-2 with 907s and like 10 chiefs. So that was a good old days of Muro, but then they changed this area So you get spotted a lot earlier now. So 1-2s are kind of worse, and this position and this ridge line is really powerful. They have like 3 tanks here, 1 tank here. It will take all of you to kill it, and waste a lot of time. Next strat is just simple, basically full forest play. I would probably use this more on defense more than anything. Can use it on attack, but I don't think it's a great idea to use it. To be honest, just get the EBR again. Bosh, bosh. Stay here for now. Then we need click mouse. Bosh. We'll bring like a KPZ. Let's bring an i7. So basically, the idea is you full push forest at the start, basically, with your whole team. You hope to scare off the enemy from pushing anything close to their ridge. At that point, if you can get the i7 here, he spots this for you. You bring your EBR into here. I mean, this i7 can also go back here instead. Then your EBR hopefully comes to here. Your i7 should stop the EBR from clearing you. You might bring the Sturv and leave these double 60p here. At that point, you will probably rotate out and go 1-2. This may not be the case. Like they may push this out a little bit, and you think you can push this out, which you might be able to. Not saying you can't. It's rather painful to, because people get this and they get this and this. It's like a 3-way crossfire. But if you think you can do it, I mean, you can try. Things to watch out for is a 1-2 push at the start. You should be okay because your EBR should hopefully see it early enough to where you can fall back with this guy. And then you just trade your health with this guy. This mouse can try and run to a bit more safe of a position. The 60p also tries to run, and then you just push this out, and then you split map, and that's good and bad for you. Just need to make sure you get this back, but like, I don't like going full forest like this at the beginning. Can still work, for sure. But yeah, you just need to make sure your 1-2 doesn't get caught, because you kind of can't go back and defend it. So like, you have 3 to defend it, and maybe the mouse as well. So you have 4, maybe an EBR, or 2, maybe. And this i7, maybe if you see it somehow really early, you might be able to rotate him back if they're pushing with like 4 or 5 people. To push this out against this, they'll probably need 5. So they can send like 3 or 4 out wide here, and then 2 or 1 come to here. Because as soon as you kill this guy, you get A3, and you have your mouse in mid still. These people will slowly die. So they are probably forced to run unless they want to die, which is good for you because you pick up this guy kind of for free. So yeah, so you basically pick up a gun, maybe 2 if they're dumb and stay. Maybe you catch the EBR as well, or they catch the EBR. So you need to be like slightly worried about that. But it's a fine opening. You just need to try and get your EBR into here as quickly as possible. Just put all the rotations, and then slowly you will learn how much is here with your i7 peaking. And like when they peak badly against the EBR, you might be able to see them. But there's also, if you're defending and you're sitting like this, what enemy teams might do is all their tanks are trapped here, so they might push out 1-2 at the start, kill this i7 or make him fall back a little bit, and then they will bring their team like this through this into this and then into this, and while also bringing their whole team like this. So then they just crunch this group basically, and then they have the serve on the back to cover, so you can't really play outside. That's normally how forest camps are broken. But yeah, still a fine opening. Okay, next one is kind of a split strat. I think first this was seen by I think Invil played this like 3 rivals ago. But it's still a very good strat now. Especially if for some reason you don't want to go very heavy. And then we need EBRs. Both off again. You know, Sturv can be a badger as well. And you bring 60 feet. Rockingly. And you are basically deciding you want to take this control off them. If they decide to fight you, you just take positions out here and just kill them if they keep on coming. And then the 9-0 and i7 will go push mid. I forgot to put a mouse. Let's just put this guy here. For now, this guy will probably just push up straight to this building straight away. He doesn't really need to wait. But yeah, the idea is you get this control with these 3 i7s. You then will probably rotate out with these 460 GPs with this i7 and come back to forest to try and take it. If they are pushing with, I don't know, like 5 or more here, trying to aggress forest, you can just push out 1-2. And then you bring your i7 with double 9-0 to go fight the whatever is here, and you kill him really quickly because you're double 9-0. This KPZ will run back to here, so you'll have something like this. Takes a while. Give me a sec. This stuff can probably push up a little. And maybe you bring, I don't know, double 60B to also secure this. And they'll have, I don't know, they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tank, tank, tank. Double EBR somewhere. Maybe they have this. Canning skills in. I think we need 2 more. No, like that. They have something like this, right? Maybe they have 3 in here. This is very good for you, because you basically pick up 5 guns, really. You just need to be careful about them taking your base, but hopefully the KPC's got out and he will delay for a long time, where your double 9 i7 can come back and your EBR, and hopefully your EBR's got away and your stuff can come back, so your base should be fine. But yeah, it's a simple way, a simple split. Deleted one. Like, the way to kind of counter this split, if you see 9-0s in this kind of a lineup, is basically to set up 1-2 and push out 9-0 with like 4 max. Because if they can't push out 1-2, I don't know, they have like 1, 2, say even 4 here like this. and this stuff here, maybe. And then they have 4. So they have, I don't know, an i7 here. They have double 60p pushing, triple. Just that's what, 8. So 2 more. I don't know. I have 2 in mid, like this. And this mouse is back here. And the idea is you basically make them bleed for 1-2 and make this like such a painful push that they will just never recover. This stirb will just farm the outside here. He also farms this. This guy being alive, that means that they can push this guy, but this guy will still be alive, and they'll just be stuck in the middle of nowhere in like a 3-way crossfire. These people, this i7 might push like this. You might send an EBR to go help or something else to go help, and then the other two can just either join mid or they can push over to their side of the base, so you put cap pressure on them. That's kind of how you would kind of like defend against this strat, but the enemy team could just not push 1-2 and rotate their tanks out. So you kind of need to be worried about or careful about that. Because I mean, depends if they've established the EBR here and they see this cross. If they can, then this strat also might not work. So you need to be careful about this EBR if you are the North team doing this strat, and you don't want to push 1-2 instantly. So you do need to be careful. The skip is, I guess, needs to say if he gets spotted, leave it going to here, and if he's peeking up here and spotted, then there's a guy here, so the EBR needs to make sure he clears him before you send over your tanks over. Though, hopefully your 9-0s are still here, to be fair. So if these guys have left, then you need to always think about the EBR being here. Yeah, that's the strats from north. Okay, let us just start from south now. Just do again. We'll do a simple 1-2. Again, I would bring like 5 i7s, maybe even 6. And then you bring a mouse again. Commit and delay. Stop here. And then double EBR as always. I just put them where they're gonna go, basically, in the end. And 6 ATPs, basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there you go. 5. And again, stats basically the same, but from south. These i7s go like this, and then drive to 1-2, and catch hopefully the people that are here. These 60Ps are just aiming for this cross, because hopefully your EBR is spotting this cross. The mouse, if they let you, you can play like up here to shoot them in the ass. I mean, maybe just on the edge of this church if they back off. And that's really it. 1-2s are really risky because their whole team could be set up waiting because you basically get no info. You could send your EBR like this at the start if you wanted, but then their EBR will see your push, so you probably do it some kind of delayed kind of thing, like the EBR does this, and then your i7s are like waiting, grouping like here, so nobody spotted with EBR, and then they go. Maybe you send like 1, so you do like this opening, 460p's unspotted, 160p and Sturv being spotted, that's fine. Then the i7s are like this, they drive like this, they go to 1-2, like that route, with your i7 going in straight if he can. So make sure the EBR can't stay in this dip. But that's the idea. And yeah, you just try and catch whatever is here. If you catch it, yippee. If not, then you basically split the map and you start sending at least double 60p back, and probably like a double i7 at least, maybe at most, and you leave 1 tank here and double tank here, and you split the map and you decide which way to push. Normally, Normally, it's best to push to a7 IMO. Because, I mean, the enemy base is right there. But if you get a7 control, kind of win the video game because you can start capping with your 3 EBRs, right? So, I don't know. I would probably send probably all my i7s across. I'll probably have a 60p here, here. I mean, yeah, probably something like this. I mean, technically, if you have fully split map, then you could probably do this. And you just split map like this. Your EBRs are ready to go into the cap. And now they can just stay on the south. That's fine. So you don't get some like funky timing of them pushing this. If your EBR can get somehow back to like these kind of bushes here, then fantastic. Because you spot this and you spot this, so it's very good. But the idea is you get a7, or at least you fight for a7, and then you're double EBR, and maybe even the serve if you want to triple cap. Come here. These 60 DPs will just be here to shoot if they go back from a7. You're probably more sitting like, I mean, maybe even on this house. I don't know what's best. I haven't done this kind of break in a while. But yeah, your idea is to shoot this in the ass. So you kill this. You have hopefully some tanks alive here. You have your stuff here. Your mouse is even maybe even come across as well. And then you just put cap pressure on to make them YOLO with EBRs or having to like YOLO to over peak on them. And you win. Next strat, we will just do a forest opening. So my opening would be something like this. Just do more 60 piece. 1, 2, serve is here. EBR 1, 2, mouse. Yeah. Very simple idea. You're just coming forest. You just see what you see obviously on 1, 2. If you see nothing, then maybe be careful with this push. I would still push 1 up close to take this control. Also stops the EBR from getting into here. Yeah, and then you just decide what you want to do. With 1 tank here and your, was it like 7 tanks there? Yeah, 7. You can choose to bring this guy over if you want to full push 9-0. If you want, you can bring them back. I mean, I think if they've committed into 1-2, I'd probably come back with most of my team and repush it. This is I7 is just spotting this and this if he can, and then he runs to J1, or even K2 if he can, and then you just try and punish if they push 1-2 with a lot, and you just trade off these 3 people's health, maybe 3, maybe 2. Hopefully the 60p can live, and then you just push out 9-0 and you split map. If they come forest, I mean, it's up to you. You can come close with most if you want and just play on the ridge with the sturve here, and then you can bring your double or even triple tank from 1-2, and probably not. You probably leave the IS7 here, I guess. The double 60p can come forest like this, and you just go kill the forest if you can. A mouse can come over as well. This strat depends a lot more on what the enemy team is doing and what your EBRs see. So it's a lot more down to what you want to do as the FC. If you think a 1-2 push is happening, you see, a lot of 260s or I7s, something like this, you would open more towards 1-2 IMO. Because you still have 560Ps coming 9-0. You see it early with hopefully the EBR. And I mean, you have 460Ps here. Hopefully 2 of them can run into the dip in time. 2 will go here. You bring your 60Ps also to here. Maybe even this guy. And even this guy. And then you just full repush. If they keep on pushing like this, you just full repush back into them. Yeah, it's going to hurt because of the people here. But your mouse comes across as well to like here to also shoot this, and you just kill everything that goes to here, basically. Hopefully you win. If they're doing some split like the last North I showed, then yeah, you decide what you want to do. If you want to retake 1-2, dip, or you just say, fuck it, I have 3 on 1-2, or whatever, I want to push out 9-0. It is up to you. The final strat, I mean, it's kind of the same kind of tanks, really, but we will just change 2 of them. So it's something like this. Most openers on Mira are kind of like these kind of splits, normally at a quote unquote high level, very cringe. But yeah, I7 is yellowing here to just stop the EBR from doing anything, and even peek up on this. This I7 is just kind of doing the same thing, stops them rotating quick way. Maybe spots the EBR if he's retarded. And yeah, you just kind of say, you can't push me anywhere, basically. It's like 3 or something, yeah, like this. And you just kind of say you're not pushing 1-2. If you push 1-2, you are bleeding a hell of a lot for it, and then you can just go push with your double I7 like this. Maybe if their EBR's seen something and their 60Ps can just drive towards their base. If you see them like grouping up here, then you can probably rotate. But if you see it here, you will never rotate in time with 60Ps. If for some reason you're bringing, I don't know, you're bringing some 260s or something in this group or something, then you probably can rotate back, or anything faster than like an I7. I mean, an I7 kind of speed probably is fine. And yeah, you just come back and reinforce this tip, but most of the time you'll be using 60Ps. So if you see them here, you'll never get back. So you just decide to drive like this and go into their base, hopefully with a double I7 going to like A3, and your EBRs, if they're alive, coming to the cap. And yeah, it's kind of like a who can push this out and take the base first. I'm more inclined to probably push back in if they show some kind of bowl, or I don't know what you call this, E-line pressure. Personally, you can either repush from this side or this side. It depends on where the enemy team is. But yeah, if they're camping, I'll just show you quickly against the camp. Against the camp, the idea is just, I mean, you should be able to see if they're camping very early on into the game. So you should be taking like really aggro positions. It's probably something like this, and also field with everything. You have this. After you get this control that spots this rotation, and if you can get this, even cooler. Like if you can get like this control, you probably do this. This your stuff comes to forest, and you even probably bring one more. And you decide, I'm pushing 9-0, or you're pushing 1-2. Yeah, that's kind of like what the idea is. You send the I7 in first to spot this guy, push him away if you can, and then ideally you group up with like 460Ps, or 5, or like even all of them. You come close and you just peek on him once and you kill him. You take the damage from whatever they have in the corner, which is normally like a badger or something, and hopefully you just kill him. That stops them having vision on 9-0. So now you can rotate out if you want and push 1-2, or you can just wait here for a bit and decide you want to push 9-0 still. If you are pushing out the camp, you will normally bring all your tanks with health, which should be basically all of them, like this I7 will also join. Maybe you just even do this. I don't know, Sev just kind of decides where he wants to go. If he wants to go closer to here to shoot this, or he wants to stay here to shoot the cross back, it's up to him. The mouse will probably even push up to here. And the idea is these 60dps will go like this, go around the corner, and then go towards A7. So they don't be shot. You don't care about these two people or whatever they have in the dip for now. Anything with like low health will stay in the back. So let's just say the 60p lost health because he peaked on this group. Then, after you get up and a bit more close to them, you will then push the group in A0, basically, and you either try and drown them, or the people on the back row, they also shoot it to kill it. And then you just kill this. As soon as you've killed A0, A7 will fall eventually. Just from angles like in the water. As soon as you get up to here, you're in hold down and then not. So like they lose. But yeah, that's the idea of breaking the camp normally. Also, what you can do, I think I talked about it like a little bit earlier, is after you kill this guy in C1 or C0, if you have an EBR, he can then go into the water line and he will spot the people in the corner for you, and then you can kill them from here shooting. I mean, he can, after he's done, he can maybe try and peek up on here to see A7. I doubt he will because there's the big bush here, but you never know. You might get some free damage, which is always nice. If you get intel, I don't know, this EBR like goes in, he gets spotted. And he gets obliterated from here. Like he says, oh, there's like 5 or 7 guns in A7. You will probably then decide to do something else, which is probably pushing 1-2. You will just go push 1-2 with a lot of your team. Like this. Basically. Let's see, 2 tanks here. The server's still here. I mean, you probably have like this control, probably. And yeah, the idea is you're pushing 1-2. You push to B1. You kill anything that's here. If they're doing the shield, you just kill the mouse, and then you can eventually do the same thing. You just go to A3, and then you start turning and sending the last 2 guys to go kill him. These guys are very uncomfortable right now. After you get B3, you can start cross-firing them from like everywhere, really. Like the mouse, the stove, the people here shoot him. And they'll be forced to either come back, which they should be punished by like 5 tanks, maybe even 6 on this cross. And then they get A3 and then call. You should hopefully maybe have enough tanks to rotate and go clear 9-0 now. But yeah, it's like dealing against camps, basically. Personally, I wouldn't bring a lot of IS-7s, just in case you need to break a camp. I would say max 4 or 5, because you will need 60 DPs. You will just need the 3k health first. They're 60 DPs basically, because there is no kind of counter to a 60 DP as of right now. And well, the counter to 60 DP on Himmel would be E100, but you can't really play E100 on this map. So yeah, you just have to deal with them with your own 60 DPs. Fight fire with fire, as they say. But yeah, hope that shows everything. I will go to some replays for you now to explain my thought process behind them. But yeah, I'll see you in the next part. Right, and back for the second replay from South. I think this video's already out, but we'll just talk through it again. Yeah, again, just doing the invul kind of splits, but with a badger instead of a stove this time. So yeah, I mean, if they push 1-2 now, it's going to be really painful. But and the 279 is changed. 60dp has been changed to a 279. So it better go on the house. Yeah. Again, want to control taken. And kind of now is the time to rotate back to forest again, really, because we probably shouldn't be pushing this into e5, e3, double I7, 160p. Like we could, but it'd be very painful. And if they have like anything else at the back, I think we're kind of fucked. I should have not put Clicko in onto the 0 line here. I should have just told him to stay and wait for my 60dps to rotate, because you will see in a sec he gets repushed. And there it is. Bit of a shame we see it very late, but what are you going to do? Dead. Click up. Anyway, but we are reinforcing with 4. I think they had 4 or 5 there, so like now it's quote unquote an equal fight. Somehow these EBRs are just going around Paradox. I don't know how that's possible, but whatever. But we have really good shots on them. For some reason they went here. I guess they just didn't think I had anything in A7. And they just bled a lot. Also the CS is 400 somehow and peaking terribly. So we can go push this side. We'll push this side back. As you can see, the I7 and E7 is very annoying to kill. Can't really be killed until you get to A7. My 279 is going to live on E1 basically forever. And they can't really. I mean, like, if they didn't have that much in forest, they probably could push out 1-2. Yeah, they are attempting to. Maybe they can actually. They do have a lot more numbers here. Figuring out where to place a strike. I don't know how tanks is 200. I guess he just got shot from somewhere. But I mean, as you can see, we're up quite a bit, a decent amount of health. Still. And a badger is now farming. And our mouse and my 60dp is also go on the outside, which is really well done by Op, though this peak is a bit iffy, but yeah, job done. Yeah. But now we are kind of securing the rest of the map. Tanks are still alive somehow, which is nice. This game was not played very well. Probably wasn't FC the best from me either. But it's okay. Which still, I don't know why they didn't run completely from here. Very strange. They didn't just run either stay. I mean, I don't know what this 260 is doing. He just went into the open and died. But I don't know. He should have ran all the way. But I mean, we're like 7k up still. So we're chilling. I mean, that 1-2 repush just cost them a lot. What? I mean, what? 2 tanks died? 3? 4? 4 tanks died, I think, on 1-2 from them. And we had 5, I think. So pretty costly for them, I would say. And like one of them's a 1-shot. Well, it was like a 2-shot. So like I would say that trade-off is fine for me. I don't know if Tanks was full health, we probably lived that entire fight. But I don't know what he was shot by. Probably got shot going into position, if I would have to imagine. But yeah, a harder game for sure. But a win is a win. Yeah, I don't know. Having the mouse in middle is really nice for that crossfire when they do push 1-2 as well. Just really nice. I mean, technically, instead of I think it was a 60p on this corner, like behind where Koshka is. If he's like behind the 60p on this ridgeline, probably also better as well because he takes more time to die and the badger will farm more damage. So that's probably like a bit of an improvement. Instead of sitting on like the E2 corner, go up into like E1 to like here on this little ridgeline, be a lot safer. But yeah, not a bad game anyway. Yeah, I mean like the badger and mouse both farmed 5k. I would say like that's why that pushing 1-2 is very painful. It is doable, but it is very painful for you, especially if we have a badger. So unfortunately, I just don't have any replays that I can show you currently because I'm waiting for clan rivals to be over. And I don't want to show off people's strats and my strats for rivals. So like I'm currently just waiting for that to be over. Then I can probably record much better videos for you all. Hopefully by what would it be? I don't know, like the 25th or something. Anyway, it'd be like after this Muro, I think there'll be a cliff, and then after that, we'll be playing like actual replays again. But anyway, getting distracted. Like this game, I mean, I'm just doing like the invul ask like game. I thought they were repushing 1-2, but they weren't. I was just a bit confused by this I7's movement. Kind of made no sense to me and why he's pushing up as well. But yeah, they were just trying to push up the 279 to the building. Like I would imagine to the opposite side. Obviously, the enemy team is being quite defensive. Which from south it can work. Like a camp from south is a lot harder to break IMO than a north one, but still breakable. But yeah, I'm just rotating to forest. He hits my Capola. Oh god. But yeah, I'm just rotating to forest to secure that control because I mean pushing 1-2 is just hell on Muro when they're like pretty well set up for it. So even if they push 1-2, they might catch like me and the 60TP. The I7s will just go under probably this way to be covered by mouse, and then they bleed even more. So they kill like 2 tanks, but they probably bleed like I would say like 6k. Our servers farming them the entire time, and then he just runs away to A7 if they do push. So, and then we also push their 9-0, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm kind of just tired of this 279 because it's just an annoying position, so I just decide to strike him. Someone pens, so we can now just HG him. So he will just die to strike otherwise. Well, we can HG him after the strike has ended and it will kill him. I tell my team to push 9-0 because they just look so heavy here. Like they had 279, I7. I think they had at least 2 here, and I think it was 3. Maybe I'm incorrect, but like they were very heavy here. And I just thought what 9-0 would be. Thank you. I thought 9-0 would just be weak or weaker here. Technically, I should rotate my I7 from E7 as well to push the 9-0. Also, my 9-0 should have been there. I mean, this advance will go out later on my YouTube, and I think I am telling my 9-0s to push the forest as well, but they just weren't doing it. So, yeah. It was a little bit dicey when I see 3 tanks up there, but you could argue I should have maybe kept a 9-0 at the back, maybe. Or I just brought my Sturv over to forest as well, really. Could have done that too. But it's fine-ish. Probably was worth bringing Sturv over for this. Because they only have 2 reactions. It's either pushing 1-2 or pushing back into 9-0. But, I mean, at this point, my positions are just too strong, I think, for the enemy. I can't see the health on the K line, but it looks fine position wise. Also, the people like Cthulhu and the people there in F4 or whatever, like they're shooting the people in the red line, which is really good as well. I technically should have told them earlier to do it, but it was an afterthought. But yeah, I mean 6-2. I have control of 80% of the map, so the game is kind of over now, and it's kind of just clean up. As soon as we kill the e5 in the corner, it's completely won. It's like the only problem right now, but I mean, it's 8-3. And we are, what would it be, like 5k up, probably? Because I imagine the people out my render distance would they've taken a few shots. I don't know, a pretty simple game. Like, we see we can't push 1-2, so just rotate out. And just go kill, basically. Yeah. But nothing really that well done here. I mean, the enemy team just let me do whatever they wanted, whatever I wanted to do, and they just kind of sat there and took it, which was kind of nice of them. I wouldn't recommend just sitting on Muro again, because you don't really learn anything, and it's better not to let your enemy just get full map control. So yeah, that's it for that video. I will catch you in the next replay. Right, here is a replay from South. Again, apologies, it can't be a natural replay, it just has to be from my YouTube channel. So I can't really show much with the free cam or whatever. But we can just skip this. I mean, their setup just screams to me that they are camping. So I do quite a light split on 1-2, and I even push quite early with it. If they had like any IS7s or anything, I would never push an IS7 this far in. So, but yeah, just a normal split when you see this kind of opener, and just took all the map control, hopefully by basically the first minute, which, you know, always nice to take the map control. Yeah, technically I should only send like one guy close, really, and the rest should be sitting here. I don't really know why I sent 4 close, I can't remember. But yeah, but I do send 4, so whatever. I feel like they could shoot this 279 if they peeked up here. I can't lie. I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, they do. We should really kill this 279 then. But yeah, I mean, I think we figured out that there's an EBR somewhere close because Adrian is being spotted. So we tell our EBR from 1-2 to go clear him, because obviously we want the D7 bush line so we can spot all their rotations. So like that's the plan for now. Yeah, it's kind of a shame we can't spot this 279, because we could probably kill him from angles. From like these IS7s are going back a little bit. Unfortunately, Dan went forward, but like no one was aimed, which is quite unfortunate. So this EBR nearly gets away, so we're quite lucky that the tanks hit the shell and killed him. But yeah, Adrian now should just be going into D7. For some reason he doesn't. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I guess he's afraid of the other EBR being somewhere, but I think it's a worthy risk, honestly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure someone said that they had a lot in A7. I think it was Dan when he just imploded, clearing that EBR. So we just decided to push 1-2 because we just didn't want to go into that many S-Honks on A7. Could we have still pushed it? I mean, like, probably. We just probably have to leave, like, 1 or 2 on 1 2, and the rest come 9-0. Because I mean, S-Conks are just not very good for killing 6 GPs, but always just go for the easier option. And the easier option here is just 1 2. I don't know why they have 3 tanks in C4. I can't lie. Seems like a vast overcommitment. I can't lie. We could even like here. If you technically wanted, you could send an IS-7 to this hold down area here, which can spot this rotation and also spot these guys to make them push back, and then we have better shots from like out here on their ass, which is very nice. I'll actually put that in the key positions section. I forgot to do that. So yeah, I'm just telling my team how to push. You always push like this, so your spotters, you get spotted the latest you can. Obviously, I strike them because there's 3 guys grouped up, and it makes them back off and probably get worse shots. Yeah. I mean, technically, by the looks of it, it wasn't like hell of a lot in A7, to be honest. But yeah, it's fine. Still can easily push this because we are just 60 GPs versus S-Conks. But yeah, I mean, the camp just doesn't work when you learn how to break a camp. This camp should not work anymore for people. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend camping again. I don't think you learn anything, and against good enemies, they just don't work. I shot twice by my own team, Christian fucking demon, so that's cool. Then I realize I'm still a one shot, so I should probably go towards the cap and get safe from the Kushti guy. Yeah, he realizes and shoot me and bounces because he's a knob. So there we go. Pretty easy game. Yeah, sorry about the replays. Like, I just don't want to show any people any people's strats before rivals because it's just a fucking dick move. So just have to wait. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.